make sure that your ring sling is threaded correctly. If in doubt, what you can do is go ahead and take it apart, and I will show you how to re-thread your ring sling properly. So what I like to do is take my rings, which are always solid, never welded. If you have a weld point on your ring slings, they are not considered safe. These are solid aluminum and are designed to hold up to 300 pounds. So what I like to do is take my ring sling and spread it out and gather it accordion style in my hand up so that I have it all in one hand. And what I'll do is take my rings and feed it through my rings, making sure to keep the rails lined up. They're going to go through the rings. I pull it out and then open up the two rings, flip it back over, and feed it back through the middle of the two rings. So that starts my ring sling. And then what I want to do is make sure that it is evenly distributed between the rings. And so the easiest way to do that is to follow the rail along. Mine happens to be colored purple. And I'm going to start on one end. It doesn't matter if you start on the left side or the right side. But basically I just want to take and evenly gather the material so that it's not bunched up or crossed over or twisted in any way, so that it's basically just nice and pleated evenly, and then tighten it up like so. And you can see on mine, because it is a rainbow grad, that the colors line up on both sides with the opposing side. So now I'm ready to go ahead and put my ring sling on, and I'm going to place these rings up high on my shoulder, way up here. You don't want to have it down low. You want to start up with it so that the rings sit right at the top of your shoulder. And I like to take and shake out my pocket, and the purpose for this is to make sure that it's not bunched up in the back. The more evenly it is across my back, the more comfortable it will be for me. So now that I have my pocket shaken out and it's not twisted, I bring the material forward, and once I do this, I'm ready for my baby. So what I do with my baby, and you can do this with a small newborn as well as a toddler, is you're going to take and put them on the opposite shoulder of the ring sling, where the rings are. I like to take and cross their legs up like this so that their feet don't get caught up, and I will then pull the pocket up over, and I take my opposing arm, holding onto the baby the whole time, reach up in and pull the sling up so that their feet now come out of the bottom. I then take this arm and I'm going to hold my baby while I adjust the pocket. And what I want to make sure is that I get all of this loose fabric around to the front, so that when I make my adjustment with my ring sling, I'm not pulling the fabric from my back, I'm pulling it from this area here. So she happens to sit up on her own. If this were a newborn, I would want to hold her carefully with my arm. But what I do is I'll bring this fabric around, and I prefer to adjust the top rail first. Now the top rail on mine happens to be colored purple, and so you can see here that this is part of the top rail. And what's very important with the ring sling is that you adjust the rails individually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rail and I'm going to pull it in the same direction that the fabric's coming from, across my body. You never want to take and pull the whole tail down. You want to adjust each rail separately, because this fabric is going to need a different adjustment than the one that's under the bottom. Now that I have the back secure, what I want to do is make sure that she's got a good seat. So now what I'm going to do is reach underneath her making sure that the fabric is spread knee to knee and scooted up so that I'm making a deep-seated pocket where the fabric is actually between her and myself, and it's spread from knee to knee. Now this happens to be a pretty good seat for her, but if I need to adjust it, I'm going to take this outside pink rail, which is the same color that goes underneath her legs. So I'm going to take this rail right here if I need to, and I'm going to pull straight down. And that is going to raise her up. It's going to tighten this seat here and secure the bottom area. And the most important part when wearing a child in a ring sling is that they're high and kissable and that they've got a deep-seated pocket. Once they're secure, it can be hands-free. However, if you have a smaller child, you will want to support their head if you need to lean forward. If you need to make an adjustment or you're ready to take them down, you will simply lift up on this top ring right here. You'll lift up and that will loosen it. And then to remove your baby, I like to take and bring this over the top of the head. Set them down securely, and then take off the sling. And that is how you would put on a ring sling.